So, big news coming in on Liam Delap from a credible reporter in Rob Dawson, basically saying personal terms is agreed with Delap's agent. Manchester United already have an agreement with Ipswich. They're just waiting on Delap's final decision. So, essentially, everything is agreed for Delap. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed the Mbeumo news. United are interested in Mbeumo. We've had reports for the last 24 hours about Mbeumo to United. People linked to him on and off for months. But the reports have really started heating up since yesterday. Since we got the Cunha here we go, the Mbeumo reports have been heating up. Personal terms won't be an issue. Man United are interested, £50 million. United like him. But will we have to sell to buy him? Are we moving for him next? If we don't get Delap, do we use the Delap funds and just get Mbeumo done and over the line? Or are we going to get Delap, Mbeumo and Cunha before a sale? I mean, that would be pretty insane business. Marcus Rashford, 40 million price on him. Interest in Eze, I'm sure he's a bit of a backup option. And Casemiro has been called up for Brazil, which is great to see. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute late roundup. I did this last summer. Whenever it's busy transfer news day and there's some news coming out late at night, I do a 10-minute video coming out every evening when there's relevant news, rounding up the news. And, well, there's quite a big story coming out. So let's get into it. So, Rob Dawson said essentially this in regards to Delap. Personal terms agreed, we're awaiting the final decision. United have agreed personal terms with Delap's reps, was first said. They have informed Ipswich of their intention to trigger the 30 million clause. Outline of personal terms already settled, a deal could move quickly once Delap decides. We're now awaiting Delap's final decision. So essentially, we have an agreement with Delap. We have an agreement with Ipswich. We just need Delap to say yes. So personal terms has been agreed. Delap's agent has said this is how much he wants to earn. These are the conditions he wants. We've got the agreement there. But Chelsea might have that agreement. Newcastle might have that agreement. So we've got to wait for Delap to decide. Now, we've known for months that we want Delap. We know that Delap is the #1 striker target. Since we've lost the Europa League final, I think Gyökeres, who probably was Amorim's first choice, is not possible. We want Delap. Chelsea want Delap. Everton want Delap. Delap was in Newcastle today. There's 4 Premier League clubs in for him. United and Chelsea sin as favourites, but Newcastle have UCL football. I still think Chelsea are favourites, but there's a feeling inside United that's quite confident. They have a bit of quiet confidence because of the game time they can offer him, that they can get Delap. You know, you can play with Cunha. We're going to get Mbeumo in next. This is going to be a project. Whereas I think Newcastle might be the best club for him in terms of stability, but Isak is there. He wants to get into the England squad. Chelsea, they've got Jackson, a bit more competition. I think he'll go Chelsea because I think he can start over Jackson and I think he gets UCL football and it's a bit more stable than United. I think he should go to Newcastle, but he might end up at United. I think United have some quiet confidence. But yeah, we've got an agreement on personal terms with Delap's agent. We've got an agreement with Ipswich. We will pay and trigger the 30 million clause. We are just waiting for Delap to decide. That is it on Delap. We are just waiting for him to decide. And journalists keep saying, oh, he's going towards Chelsea, oh, he's going towards United. The journalists don't know anything. All the journalists know is that Delap's going to make a decision in probably like the next 48 hours. So they're trying to write Delap's leaning towards Man United. So then 2 days later, if he chooses Man United, they can go, hey ho, look, we told you that. No, I think it's just guesswork. I don't think anyone has a clue where Delap's going to go other than Delap. And I think the decision and the news will break soon. So let's continue on into some more stories because we've been talking about Mbeumo all day. My dream signings, spoken a lot about Mbeumo, how good it would be. And now Fabrizio Romano is talking about Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United. So United are interested in Mbeumo. It is genuine. Number 10 is still a priority despite signing Cunha. Romano has confirmed this. He says Mbeumo fits United's strategy. He's Premier League proven. He can make instant impact and still send us a player for the future. The strategy is to bring in 2 Premier League proven attackers that are in their prime age but not old, that can contribute, that are, you know, can do the physical demands, do the technical demands, aka Premier League proven. That is what we want. And that is exactly what Mbeumo brings. He said United genuinely appreciate Mbeumo, but he said he's not the only number 10 target. We have had links to Eze, we have had links to Semenyo, and we did have links to Xavi Simons, but apparently that's not possible about UCL football. There has also been links to Cherki and Mastantuono, but I think Mbeumo is the main one. Mbeumo is Premier League proven. He's £50 million. He's got 20 goals this season. He suits the system to a T. He's also one of the hardest working players. We talk about Delap, but I actually think Acuna, Xerxes, and Mbeumo front three would work really well, like the assist Xerxes could get. So he's saying United want a number 10, but he said it could depend on player outgoings. I think United, and we've been told, can get Delap and get Cunha without selling anyone. That's the budget. But once you get Delap and Cunha, we need to sell someone to get Mbeumo. Look, there's a chance we can get Rashford for £40 million. Rashford off for 40 million. There's interest in Anthony for around. There's interest in Anthony. We reckon we can get 30 to 35 million for him. Garnacho's going to go. We can easily get 50 million for him. Sancho, hopefully, get 25 million for. So United's sort of thought process right now is, I think it's get Cunha and Delap in, sell an attacker, go for Mbeumo. But if you want my honest opinion, I'd get Cunha, I'd get Mbeumo, and then, if Delap wants to come to us, he's got the 30 million clause, he can wait for us to sell someone. I think Mbeumo would be a bigger miss than Delap. I think Mbeumo for 50 million, the guaranteed goals you get with him, I just feel like Mbeumo, Xerxes, Cunha is going to be the main front three, even if we get Delap, in my opinion. And Mbeumo can play striker, Cunha can play striker if needed. Like, if I'm United, I prioritise Mbeumo over Delap, which sounds crazy because we need a striker more than a 10 because we've just got Cunha in and we've got 10s. But I just think Mbeumo is that good of a deal that we have to prioritise it. It was also said by the Muppeteers that United have been watching Mbeumo for a very long time and, they're serious about bringing him to Old Trafford. The Daily Mail also said, Chris Wheeler also confirmed today we have interest in Mbeumo, who's also with the Daily Mail, but Simon Jones of the Daily Mail said United have made inquiries about Mbeumo. Obviously, this time last night, I spoke about Sully's report saying we've got interest in Mbeumo. Personal terms won't be an issue. Mbeumo was reportedly open to joining United. Personal terms isn't an issue. United have inquired about Mbeumo. The interest is genuine. That's been confirmed. We do like Mbeumo from every reliable report. It's £50 million. It's a good deal. Romano's saying, look, we might need to sell to get this done. We might need to offload a Rashford or a Garnacho or a Sancho or Anthony to get this done. And there is other clubs interested. And if we need to sell to buy him, other clubs that might not need to sell to buy him could swoop in and get him. Newcastle really like him. Arsenal really like him. Right now, he has been most strongly linked to United, but I don't think you can rule Newcastle out. Graham Bailey also said, we really like Mbeumo, and we really like his versatility. We think it could be a good fit for the system. But he said, as well as interest in Mbeumo, there is interest in Cherki because he is cheaper, but the data is probably pushing United towards Mbeumo. Apparently, it is a data-driven signing. But he said Mbeumo would be difficult to sign, but he said that United's interest in Mbeumo is genuine. So we've been linked to Mbeumo loads. This is the dream signing after Cunha. This is the guy that I want. It's going to be difficult. There's going to be competition, but we are serious about him. The interest is genuine. But I think because we're going to get Cunha, and if we land Delap, it makes it harder for Mbeumo. I think if Delap rejects us, we go and get Mbeumo. I'm focused on that. And look, some reports this morning said Delap favours United. Reports come out this afternoon saying he favours Chelsea. I don't think anyone knows who he favours. I think it's media guesswork. But if I was to guess, I do think Delap will go to Chelsea. So right now, we're in a situation where what Cunha is done. If Delap says yes, it's done because the personal terms are sorted, the agreement is there, the agreement with Ipswich is there. So Man United will then move for Mbeumo. We like Mbeumo. We've got Cunha done. Once Delap says yes, we're going to be working on getting Mbeumo and moving for Mbeumo next. So Mbeumo could be the next move after these two. The interest is genuine. We might have to sell to get him. So Cunha done. Maybe Delap, if he says yes, and Mbeumo move next. Outgoings like Rashford, Sancho are going to be important for the deal. Garnacho, Anthony, of course. And look, we should be able to get 100 million from Rashford, Anthony. We should be able to get 150 million from Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, and Sancho. We should be able to, which literally, Cunha and Delap is 90 million, plus Mbeumo is 140 million. The sale of those four attackers will 100% pay for Cunha, Delap, and Mbeumo. When people ask where's the money coming from to do that, well, the sale of the four attackers that are set to leave will pay for that. Romano obviously said that Rashford will return to United after his loan with Villa, and he's available for 40 million. We know Barcelona have interest in Rashford. And Rob Dawson did also speak about Man United having some interest in Eze earlier. Could be one to watch, but I think Cunha being left-sided, I think Mbeumo would be the standout. I do think Semenyo's one to watch, but I think with Bournemouth being raided this summer for Kirkes and Huijsen, they don't need to sell Semenyo, so there's going to be a price tag there. Anyway, last but not least, coming in on the news, Casemiro, Anthony, and Cunha all called up for Brazil. I mean, Casemiro deserved that call up. He's been really good lately. Anthony deserved that call up, and good to see Cunha called up for Brazil as well. Anyway, thank you very much, people. Please do hit that like button if you did enjoy today's video. Feel free to subscribe down below if you're new. I'll be back tomorrow with some more updates. Bye.